Welcome back to another episode where I bring you all things health, mindset, and identity. Now, this topic has been coming up a lot amongst my clients and other women that I'm chatting to. And like always, I bring you information that I know is just going to land with you at the most divine time. I've also been doing a few guest speaking roles for other coaches in their coaching calls, and this same thing has been coming up again. So I really do hope it's going to be a mic drop moment for you, because we have to be looking at the whole picture of health. If you've been listening to this podcast for a little while, you will know we don't just talk about just the science. We talk about everything when it comes to health, whether that is weight loss, whether that is stepping into your most dreamiest life, your career, your relationship, all of it. We have to be looking at the bigger picture. And one of those things is your energy, right? Energy is everything. Now, this is not woo-woo. There is so much science to even back this, but your energy, the way you hold yourself, the thoughts you have, the beliefs, the way you speak, it all creates your reality. It literally creates your world around you. Now, I started off as a personal trainer over 15 years ago, and I didn't know any of this work. And back then, it was how to get your dream body by following a plan and working out in the gym. And that's just not the way to do it anymore. We need to, particularly us women that can be having up to 80,000 thoughts a day, we need to be looking at what's going on up here, because when we get this right, everything else falls into place. I had a client this week literally message me and tell me, oh my goodness, this works. Now, we've been working together for a couple of weeks, and I kept saying to her at the start, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. This will land and it will all make sense. And for her to message and reach out to say that, it was just like the biggest blessing ever, because the weight is actually coming off her. But she was like, I actually don't even care about the weight. I actually feel so good that everything else is just a byproduct. Because when we can get this right, everything else just falls into place. So if the title caught your attention, this one thing could be blocking your results. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Now, so many women I speak to want all the things, right? We fantasize whether we're at the lights, waiting for it to go green, whether we're waking up in the morning feeling like shit, whatever it is, we have this thing, this thought and this vision and this dream in our mind to feel and look a certain way, right? Or for our life to look and feel a certain way. But one thing we neglect to keep in mind is, if I was to click my fingers right now, and whatever that goal is that you have in your mind, if it had transpired and it was happening right now, are you actually making space in your life to hold it, to maintain it, to keep it going, right? And I'm going to explain the 3 steps that you can do to activate this, to actually do this, because most people miss that part. It's like we want all the things. It's like the person that wants to win the lottery. And you're like, I want to win the lottery. I'm so poor. I want to win the lottery. I want to win the lottery. But if I clicked my fingers right now and you had $3 million, $5 million, $10 million in your world right now, would you have the space? Would you have done the work in order to hold that thing? Like, imagine if that money was in your life right now. Like, would you even know what to do with it? Or would you self-sabotage? Would you go and spend all of it, and then in a year's time you'd have nothing left? Because deep down inside, you've got this belief about money or about yourself or about being worthy of having that thing that you would just need to get rid of it. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to buy everything. I'm going to buy the house. I'm going to buy the boat. I'm just going to get rid of it because it feels too big. It feels a lot. And it's the same thing with your health. If you actually clicked your fingers and you were at a goal weight, that is all well and good, but you can still be unhappy in that weight or in that body if you haven't done the work and created the space in your environment, in your calendar, in your thoughts, in your beliefs, in the way you speak, to be able to hold it and maintain it for years to come. Because chances are you're not going out to get these goals just so you can have them for a short period of time. So I'm going to go through 3 ways you can make space in order for your results to drop in, but for you to hold them and maintain them. So number one is make space in your environment. Now you can adapt this to any goal that you have. So just say you are single right now and you're desiring a partner or the dream relationship. You can make physical space in your environment for them to come in. If you are taking up all the space in your bedroom, you're living like a single woman, you have everything everywhere, and there is no space for that person to come in, then it's not going to manifest, right? So how can you actually physically, this is the fun part. This is legitimately what I did when I called in my partner. I created space in my environment and I pictured what he would be doing in my space. Now you can clean out a drawer in your bedside table and think, that is for my partner. You can create space in your wardrobe for his clothes. You can create space on the bookshelf for his books. I literally did this when I was moving into my house. I was putting all my books out. I was like, these are the books that he's going to read. I actually put out my masculine books that I had and on the bookshelf. And I was like, we are going to talk about this. These are the books that he is reading. And that's what we're going to talk about. He's going to be at that caliber where he's reading these books. I kid you not, this was when I was unpacking my house that I'm currently in. I was doing that morning. I actually reached out to my relationship coach and said, I'm putting the books out in my space and these are the books that we're going to talk about. These are the books that he's going to read. Like I was actually physically doing it that night. No kid of a lie. No, is that the saying? No kid of a lie? Anyway, moving on. I met him on online dating that night, and the book that I had in my bookshelf, he was actually reading. The book was The Way of the Superior Man by David Dieter. I was putting that in the bookshelf and I literally manifested that. And I was like, wow, this is magical. A little thing, I don't say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's happened. I'm going to get into this with your thoughts and your words. I don't say things like, I can't believe that's happened. And if I do, I correct myself, because when you say, I can't believe that happened, you're telling the universe you can't believe it. So no more of those things will come in because you're like, I can't believe that's happening. So I say, that is wild. That is magical. More of this, please. That is so beautiful. Like, thank you. More of this. So that's if you were calling in a partner. If you are desiring the health, the body, how can you make space in your environment for that? If you are in a really cluttered environment, you've got stuff everywhere and it's all messy, but you're desiring this woman that is organized and she's clean and she has all her clothes set out. How can you create space in your environment for that? Can you clear out your pantry, get rid of all of the unhealthy foods in there? Same with your fridge. Can you go through your wardrobe and get rid of all the pieces that are just taking up space in order for you to create space for the new beautiful workout gear that you're going to fit into, the beautiful dresses you're going to have hanging in your wardrobe? You know, and if we're surrounding ourselves with the reminders of our old self, then there's no room for our new self to drop in. So how can you start creating that space around you for the dream health? And even just creating space by setting out the clothes that you want to wake up in and put on your workout gear to exercise the next day. Like that could be part of that environment as well. Like how can you set things up in your environment to create space for what it is that you're desiring? It's the same with like if you're a business owner and you're desiring, oh my goodness, like I just want all these big goals. I want more clients to come into my world. I want the abundance, the money to come in. Are you actually creating space if that was to happen? If you went to sleep tonight and 1,000 people all of a sudden started following you online, or you got 10 new leads in your business, do you have the space in your world, in your business right now to be able to service that? Or is your business running smoothly with your systems and your processes in place to be able to hold this? We actually spoke about this, Molly Murphy and I spoke about this recently in the previous podcast episode. She had a post that went viral, and ultimately she's an author of a beautiful book, The Daily Glow Up, and she was saying it was actually an eye-opener because she was like, I really want all these people to come into my world and I want more books to be sold. But what had happened was she had a post that went viral, and all these new people came into her world literally overnight, and her systems weren't set up to actually hold it. So how can you create space in order for those things to drop in? Same with your money. Is your money all over the place? Is your bank account like not organized. I actually, after I read Time Magic by Melissa Ambrosini and Nick Broadhurst. If you have not read that book, go and read it. It is amazing. After I read that, I actually renamed my bank accounts. I was like Everyday Abundance, Business Abundance. And then I went from there. I can't remember what that last one was called. They go through how to manage your money. And that was me creating space in that mindset that I am abundant. You know, wealth comes into me, money comes into my accounts. And then I was doing a lot of work around it, which I'll get to really soon. It was like, I provide a safe home for my money. See how I was creating that space for it to come in? If I had things going here, there, and everywhere, and debits coming out, and my money was messy, the abundance can't come in because you're not creating that space and that safe home for it to come in and for you to hold it. And another thing is, so number two, so that was number one, create space in your environment, whether it's business, health, partner, money, whatever it is. How can you physically create space for those goals to come in? And number two is make space in your calendar. Are you running around like a chook with no head? You are packing your calendar so tight to the brim that you actually have no time to maintain the results that you're after. So maybe you're calling in the beautiful, abundant health, right? And this woman that you desire, she gets up early and she has this beautiful morning routine, not always perfect, but she has like a commitment to herself in the mornings. She moves her body, she does all of these things. Do you have space in your calendar to maintain that? Or are you only creating space for 12 weeks because you're doing another 12-week challenge and you're like, I'm only going to do this for 12 weeks. I'm creating space, but then beyond that, it's like life is back hectic again. Like, are you creating enough space? And I talk to clients about this all the time because they're like, oh my gosh, my schedule is so packed. I'm driving the kids everywhere. I'm doing this for my hubby. I'm doing this job. I'm saying yes to everything. But there is no space to actually live your dream life. So what can you say no to in your calendar? How can you create white space in your calendar to actually be and allow those dreams to come in? My partner is actually practicing this at the moment. He has just created space in his calendar for something that he's manifesting, and it can be really uncomfortable. So he's physically creating space for this thing to come in so he can hold it, he can deal with it when it comes in, and he can maintain it and then actually see it through. So how can you create space in your calendar for the life? Because if you're wanting these things, but you're living in a different way and you're not creating space for it, that's why it's not coming in. So number three is make space, and this is the biggest one. I've left it to number three. Make space in your thoughts, right? Are you speaking into existence as though your dreams and goals are happening, or are you blocking yourself with your thoughts? Are you saying things like, it's really hard for me to drop weight. I know my goals are really big, but if that happens, you know, how you actually are stopping yourself with those thoughts and the way you're speaking without even realizing it. So one way to bring your results in as think and act as though it's already happened, and open it, like create the space in your thoughts and your words. So things like, when this happens, when I'm in that dream body, when that business comes in, when I'm living this life, when the partner comes in, when all of this, it's like, when this happens, and then you can say, like, this is happening. I've got the partner, I've got the business, I've got the life, I've got the body, I've got the health, I've got the routines. Like, start opening your dialogue instead of closing. I had another client this week. She said, and I just used that as an example, it was like, I know this is a really big goal and it might not be possible, but see how she just completely blocked that goal from coming in? Instead of, this is happening, I'm calling this in, when this happens, I can do this with ease. You know, start thinking about those thoughts that you're repeating over and over again. And again, with the health, it might be, I am healthy and vibrant. I am deserving of this body, because that is a big one. Even if you're desiring a weight loss and you get to that body, if you haven't done the work and you're speaking and creating space in your thoughts for those results to maintain, your body will naturally go back to where it was at. Your external body is always a reflection of your internal state. So even if you white knuckled a diet and you got down to like your dream weight, so to speak, if you're still looking in the mirror and being so unhappy, you're lacking confidence, you're saying, oh my gosh, I'm still not there, I'm not good enough, I'm ugly, whatever it is, your body is going to go back to what it was. So you have to be doing that work and speaking into existence and opening your dialogue to those things to be able to hold the space and embody it, because we are calling these dreams in and we are having them for life. And this is how you do it. So no goal is just temporary. It's literally your life. It's your identity. It's who you are as a person. This is literally what I did to get out of binge eating and self-sabotage and saying the most nastiest things to my body. It was, I had to rewire and create space in my brain for my body to relax, for me to have love and to nurture my body and have respect for it and start speaking really beautiful things to her. So then that maintained. And I'm like 10, 12 years down the track from doing this. So I hope this has helped. So the one thing that could be blocking your results is you're not creating enough space in your world, in your environment, in your calendar, in your thoughts to be able to bring in that result, but also to maintain it. I'd love to know if this is landing. Like always, jump over to my Instagram at Hayley_Morcom or reach out and let me know your biggest takeaways, because I always love hearing from you. I'll chat to you real soon. If this conversation sparks something inside you, if you're feeling that little nudge that says, I'm ready for more, then my 90-minute private one-on-one coaching sessions might be exactly what you need. These sessions are a really powerful space where we go deep together. We look at what's actually holding you back, what your body and mind are asking for, and we map out a clear, personalized path forward so you can start feeling confident, aligned, and truly amazing in your body again. This is not just a chat. This is a focused, transformational session where you get my full support and guidance tailored specifically to you. And because integration is where real change happens, you'll also receive 7 days of WhatsApp support after our call, so you're not left trying to figure things out alone. I do keep these sessions very limited each month because I want to be able to give each woman my full energy and attention. So if this is calling you, I encourage you to grab a spot while they're available. You can find the booking link in the show notes. For all the notes from today's episode, check the show notes under this episode description. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with a friend who might need to hear this. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep glowing, keep growing, and remember, you are so worthy of feeling amazing in your body and mind. Mwah!